Welcome to the Works podcast, where we introduce you to South Carolina's workforce and its leaders. My name is William Floyd. I'm the Executive Director of the Department of Employment and Workforce, which we call DEW or DO. I'm also the Chairperson of the Coordinating Council for Workforce Development, which we call CCWD. I'm here today with Dr. Rebecca Battle-Bryant, who's the Director of the Office of Statewide Workforce Development, OSWD. So, Rebecca, you've been here for about 6 months, and we are so glad that you are the Director of the Office of Statewide Workforce Development. How did we find you, and what are you doing?
This has been a passion project for me because my background is varied and it's always encapsulated workforce development. I've had stints in private industry working for a public utility as well as a bridge contractor in human resources roles. I've worked in higher education with craft trade skills training and economic development. And I've also worked for DEW previously in workforce and economic development at that time as well. And then most recently, I was working for myself when you found me in battle plan consulting, helping companies try to understand what workforce options are available to them through the services of our state, as well as what things they could be doing to better retain their workforce in terms of internal strategies they should employ.
So let's talk a little bit about what the OSWD is and what you're doing.
Well, the Office of Statewide Workforce Development is not another government bureaucracy or agency or anything like that. It is quite simply what I call the project management arm of the Coordinating Council for Workforce Development. We are there to implement projects and policies that the council feels are necessary. We also are out in the public, talking to the public, and surfacing issues that are coming up to the Coordinating Council for Workforce Development, so that you sometimes can get wrapped in your particular agency's issues, and what we see our role is those visionaries that are bringing this is bubbling to the top. Maybe this is what we can do to make an impact for South Carolina. That's
a great summary. The OSWD is a new position, a new entity, and it was created by what we call Act 67. And it was really a visionary type of law that realized that there is no one agency, no one employer, no one nonprofit that's big enough to do it all when it comes to workforce. Mm-hmm. So realizing that, they gave a point person to help introduce and coordinate and facilitate. It's been just a transformative thing, but both through the Coordinating Council for Workforce Development and now through the OSWD. That Coordinating Council for Workforce Development, you're part of the executive team, right?
Yes.
And the CCWD has just everything from A to Z with regard to workforce in the state. Mm-hmm. And we have everything from pre-K to post-PhD, mm-hmm. other agencies there, many employers, educators. So we have a big tent with lots of people working together in collaboration to tackle these big projects and issues. So let's talk about some of the projects or issues, challenges that you're encountering.
Well, the most exciting thing and most recent thing for us is we had some vacant business positions. And the Coordinating Council, when it was originally formed, was primarily the government agency. So then with the reintroduction of it with the Act 67 legislation, it was expanded to include education and business. The education partners are there, and I'm really excited because there's partners in education from birth to post-retirement. I mean, they're all there, including veterans. And so that's very important. But what has always been missing is the voice of the employer. And if I bring something to the table, and I'm very honored to be there, I'm very honored for all of this. But the thing that I'm most passionate about is making sure the employer is heard. They're the ones saying we can't find people. Okay, so let's all come together and talk and share what your concerns are. So we just recently filled those vacancies, and we've got some amazing individuals that are going to speak up, that have been in the workforce system for a long time and will bring much needed knowledge and guidance to the Coordinating Council.
Yeah, they cover lots of different industries, and we very much appreciate the governor's leadership here twofold. Number one, to really identify some difference makers to join the CCWD, and also to emphasize the importance of collaboration. And
Yes.
that's the secret power that makes the CCWD work, would you say?
I would definitely agree with that. And that's one of the reasons that I was intrigued by this position, because all of my research is on rural community economic development and collaboration. What has to happen to make magic happen in South Carolina? And in South Carolina, we've got lots of wonderful things happening. People are doing amazing things, but there hasn't been an effort to either share those best practices or try to scale up those best practices. The CCWD provides much needed governance and oversight and can serve as a mechanism to grow what we see as good things happening in our state and trying to get other people to do it. The key to the CCWD is collaboration, and I've never seen that level of collaboration. One of the reasons I was excited about being back here is that I have never seen this level of cooperation that I'm seeing right now, not just amongst the agencies, but between the agencies and education, between education and the business partners. It's like coming out of COVID, we've been through this workforce dynamic that's really been a paradigm shift in a couple of ways. One, just massive amounts of turnover, and then we have 5 generations at work. So with those dynamics at play, I think it's made everybody realize what I call an event. And you have to have an event, whether good or bad, to make people want to work together. And that level of cooperation and willingness to work together is there. We can't make anybody do anything, but we can highlight and showcase the best of what's out there and make it happen.
You have a lot of great work going on by the CCWD and the OSWD. Let's focus on one of those projects right now.
Okay.
What I'll call the central portal, but the Find Your Future portal. So if you can tell us about where we are and what it is.
Well, the central portal is part of the legislation that employers have a place to go to locate South Carolinians to come work for their companies. You know, workforce development is complicated. It involves a lot of different factors and variables. The portal could be a connector. It's a technological connector. We still have a human connection that must occur. But the portal is this entity that we are working with, have many exciting experiments that we've done. We have created a website that is continually being updated and going through iterations of improvement and enhancements and added features as we learn more from working together. That website is called findyourfuture.sc.gov. And as an action item, I would love to tell everybody that's watching this, please go there and check it out. Look, there's some great information. Our recent perception study that we did, that was published this summer, we have a lot of information. And what I view that website as being is the bridge to the portal, which is coming.
Find Your Future website. Excellent. Well, workforce is so big that it's bigger than any one agency or entity. It's great to be here with you, Rebecca, knowing that you're in it to win it in a collaborative way with the other agencies and other workforce partners. I look forward to continuing this discussion in future podcasts. Please join us next time.
To leave you with some helpful labor market information, here's your LMI Minute.
Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Grady, Assistant Executive Director for Labor Market Information at DO. Welcome to LMI Minute, where I share some parting data from today's discussion to help you better understand our workforce. One of the important tasks delegated by the legislature to the Coordinating Council for Workforce Development is the production of reports to assess the performance of post-secondary education programs statewide. How often do people end up working in the field for which they were trained, and how much do they earn? DO's Workforce Outcomes one-pagers are a great way to gain insight into these metrics. Let's review the one-pager for welding programs offered at our state's great technical colleges. The first graph on the one-pager shows that, over the last 2 decades, nearly all students appear in our wage records within 1 year of completing their studies, which is terrific news. The second graph shows us exactly how much, 84% over the years, with 68% still in the wage records a decade after. This means that the vast majority of welding graduates stayed to work in South Carolina. Finally, at the bottom, we see where these people are working and what they do. When we look at employer types, manufacturing and construction companies, unsurprisingly, lead the way. Among occupations, we again see that most people are putting these skills to use working jobs in production, installation, and construction. I'll be back next time with another LMI Minute. Have a good one.